terrifying manner. John appears with the eerie voice reciting the rhyme as he rushes to tell his mother and the others. Then she shatters the glass in the room with a horrifying sound. She passes out and starts foaming at the mouth. When a priest visits the Warren residence, he plays Ed and Lorraine an audio recording of the interview. They are asked to assist in this case by the priest. When Lorraine describes to Ed the vision she saw of his death, she does so with hesitation. He interprets it as a hint that perhaps she is supposed to stop it. They make the decision to travel to England. When the Warrens get to Enfield, they run into the Hodgsons. Peggy shows Ed the now trashed bedroom, with crosses all over the walls. They then use a chain to lock the room. Lorraine meets Gianna while seated on the swing set outside her home. Gianna laments that she seems to be haunted, and that people are avoiding her. Lorraine reassures her, suggesting that perhaps just one person, like Ed has done for her, can make a difference. According to Gianna, the voice she hears wishes to harm Lorraine. In the Hodgson living room, the Warrens, Maurice, and other crew members congregate in an attempt to speak with the spirit. When the adults turn their backs to Gianna, she settles into the chair and begins speaking in Bill Wilkins's voice. Bill sounds upset as Ed takes off his cross necklace and places it in front of Jeanette's face. Right before everything seems to settle down, he yells something incomprehensible. Using their evidence, the Warrens confer with the other investigators. The most doubtful person is Anita, who believes Gianna is manipulating them. Ed seems to be doubting himself too. The Warrens spend the night with the Hodgsons. Gianna discovers that the crosses are in the bedroom. They all begin to go crazy before Bill's ghost attacks Gianna. The adults hear her screams and quickly unlock the door to let Gianna out. On another occasion, Peggy brings Ed downstairs to the basement to inspect her water problem that left the basement flooded. Peggy thinks she sees someone behind Ed. It's actually Bill's ghostly image that grabs Peggy from the water. Ed assists her in escaping. As long as they stay, the kids grow fond of the Warren family. Ed purchases an Elvis record for the children to listen to after. Peggy discovers that her ex-husband stole the music from the home. The kids hear sounds coming from the kitchen one more night. Johnny makes the decision to look into this in order to combat this bully. Then, as Gianna vanishes, Margaret screams. She appears in the kitchen, grabbing the door lock and a knife. Things are being thrown around, and the adults are trying to get into the kitchen. The kitchen is littered with broken dishes and chairs, but Johnny and Gianna are nowhere to be seen. When they finally locate Johnny, Gianna is trapped in an electrical box and speaks one more gibberish before being rescued. Anita presents the Warrens' video footage, which shows Gianna tossing objects around the kitchen to create the impression of a haunting, highlighting the fact that she was lying. Everyone is told to leave the house by Peggy. Later, when the children start to suspect Gianna is lying as well, she tells them that it would harm her family if she didn't follow the instructions given to her. Later, Warrens board the train to return home. After that, Ed plays the voice recordings of Bill and discovers they are related. When combined, the messages read, "Help me, I can't get out of it." Then Lorraine finds herself drawn into another vision. She sees Bob Adrian, aka Bill Wilkins, in his chair, looking relaxed and unthreatening. He answers Lorraine in a riddle before the demon nun materializes behind Bill and drags him off. Lorraine is then led to understand that this demon poses the real threat, and Bill is merely a pawn in this game. They scramble back to the Hodgson residence, attempting to solve the puzzle. Ed surmises that Bill intended to say that, in order to control the demon, they must identify its name. When the Warrens get back, they discover the family locked outside in the pouring rain. Ed makes an attempt to enter through the back. Lorraine sees a sharpened stem in her vision, which she identifies as the object that kills Ed. After lightning strikes the tree in front of the house, she tries to figure out the name of the demon, only to discover that she does know it already. Valak is the name of the demon, she discovers from her scrawls in her Bible. The window breaks. She is there to seize the opportunity to leap onto the stem. Ed runs to her and barely manages to catch her while clinging to the ripping curtains. When Lorraine enters the room, Valak appears and stops her from saving Ed. Saying the demon's name, Lorraine sends it back to hell. Just in time, Lorraine dashes to Ed and Jeanette's rescue. Gianna is doing fine. Everything has subsided by morning. Gianna and Peggy thank the Warrens for their assistance. There's a short passage that says the Enfield haunting rose to prominence as one of the most well-known cases in history. For 40 years, Peggy Hodgson resided in the house until passing away in the same chair as Bill Wilkins.